you can hear me all right. This is a live update on the tunes. Right now, I am doing a long trip, well, 400 miles, so it's decently long. Going to look at some trailers up in Idaho. I live in Utah County, Utah, and I'm going to Pocatello, Idaho to look at some trailers. My wife and I rent travel trailers, and there's a model that they sell up in Pocatello that would be a great little rental for us, and so I'm going to check them out just to see. And I figured I'd do a long-term or a long range or a 400-mile trip test of the Reckless Motorsports tune. I have the transmission tune and the engine tune installed. I did get an update from Randy from Reckless Motorsports on this tune, and I'm very impressed. The update, he adjusted the turbo vane positioning and readjusted some of the fuel and stuff like that. I had complained to him that it smoked a little bit more than I liked, and he resolved that. It doesn't smoke at all unless you really get on it, and then it smokes a decent amount, but you can't do much about that with diesel performance tune. The more power, the more smoke with most things, unless we can upgrade the turbo on these Ecodiesels. That's what we're stuck with. It's like the lane I'm in is ending, so I'm gonna coast down and get behind this truck because there's not much space in front of it. Anyway, very impressed so far. I mean, his tune already got good fuel economy. I know the computer is a little dishonest, as it's over optimistic in what you can get, but right now, after 73 miles into this trip, it's showing 31.9 mpg, and my fuel gauge needle hasn't moved yet. I topped it off right when I left, but yeah, almost showing 32 miles per gallon. Not too shabby on that there. I know with my MPG loop, and this was with the pre-update, so before I got this latest update, it was about 3 mpg off. But if we take off 3 mpg, that's still about 29 miles to the gallon so far on this run, which is pretty awesome for this half-ton truck with a 6-inch lift. I have 34-inch snow tires on right now, so not my big 37s that I normally have, but 34s are still decent, and I still have the 6-inch lift. It just switched to 32 mpg for the trip, so after 74.2 miles, it's showing 32 mpg average. Of course, I'm going slow right now. I'm hanging out behind these trucks. I was going the speed limit up until it switched to the faster speed limit, and now I'm going the same speed, but under the speed limit. I'll switch that after I'm done doing this live stream. But the power is awesome on this tune. The transmission tune, I was a little hesitant at first because it was holding gears a little longer than I liked, but then after driving it for 75 miles, it does a really good job. It keeps you in the power band when you're accelerating, but then it'll switch to the gears while you're cruising, switch to lower gears. So far, I like the combination. The engine tune and the transmission tune from Reckless seems to be really solid. I have a couple check engine lights, but that is thanks to my own truck. The check engine light is for the shutters. I haven't disabled that in this latest update on the tune. My automatic grille shutters are removed. And then my 4-wheel drive system's acting up. I think there might be an issue with the transfer case. I'm going to have that looked at. I've already swapped out the gear shifter. I've already swapped out the gear shifter on the transfer case, and I've swapped out the actuator for the front locker, and it's still having some issues. So I think the transfer case is having problems. This tune it's good. I'm trying to think, compared to SFT, I've ran SFT's transmission tune for about 50,000 miles, and I like it. It does good. It allows me to get good fuel economy. I have the rally option, and there's a couple things I really don't like for towing with that. I don't like towing in regular mode because the gears get too low, and you can bog the engine and the transmission, which isn't good for either of them. This is with the SFT transmission tune. For some when you slow down and you coast forward, even though you're towing, like I'm towing my 8,000 pound trailer, the rally option for some reason will drop to like third gear when I'm going 10 miles an hour, which bogs it down and I can't accelerate and I have to gun it to or manually change the gears to get it to go. So that's my main complaint about the SFT transmission tune with the rally option. When Jimmy first put it out, he recommended it for towing, said it'd be great for towing because it keeps you in the power band. And then after this problem started occurring, he no longer recommends it for towing, which was the main reason I got it. I tow 30,000 miles a year, so that I'm not super happy with that part of it. I could go in and modify it myself, but I don't want to do that. But yeah, so I just switched to manual gears when I'm using the SFT transmission tune. For regular driving, it's been a great tune for the transmission. I've been very pleased with it for regular driving. It's just when towing that I have an issue with it. And then in comparison to the Reckless transmission tune, this one it utilizes the engine power a little bit better. So when I'm accelerating, I've noticed that it'll keep me above 2,000 RPMs when I'm accelerating, similar to what the rally option does when you enable it with the tow haul mode for SFT. But this does it without having to push any buttons. It just does it automatically. And so far I really like this tune for the acceleration. I obviously haven't tried it for towing yet. I haven't even put it in tow haul mode. I did look at the file. It looks good. I like the changes that Randy made for the transmission, but I haven't towed with it yet. I've only driven 78 miles with it now, so barely getting to know it, but it is great when you're accelerating. I really like this transmission tune with this engine combination. But again, it hasn't even finished its learning. I got to go about another 900 miles or so before the transmission tune learns. So the adaptive values learn. So I'm barely just getting this transmission tune. So far I'm impressed, but I have more tests to do with it. It's going to be a big one. I would love for this to be my towing and my towing engine and transmission tune, the go-to now. That would be awesome. Out of the 5 tunes I have, I want one that is good for everything, and Randy's is awesome for fuel economy and drivability. It's got a lot of power, and now with this update, it's not smoking nowhere near as bad as it was before. And so I think I'm really going to like this tune. I just need to tow with it and see if I like it when I'm towing. If it blows smoke the whole time I'm towing, then I'm not going to use it. We rent the trailers. I don't want them covered in soot. But with this update, I don't think that's going to be a problem. Anyway, sorry, that was kind of a tangent there. Yeah. You noticed in my other video, PPEI, Corey Willis commented and told me to look for a used ECM for his tune so I could test it in the loop with the other ones. So if anybody knows of a PPEI tune, if you have one or had one in the past and you're willing to sell the used ECM, let me know. Send me a message. I bought one last year, but it was from a salvaged vehicle and it's had problems, and so I don't trust it on my truck. So I haven't been able to do a comparison with PPEI. So if anybody has one of those ECMs with that tune on it, let me know. Corey gave me permission to test it, which is awesome. MR Tuning got super pissed off when they found out I purchased a used ECM with their software on it. So that's the difference. So far, PPEI, Reckless Motorsports, SFT, and GDE all know that I've purchased used ECMs or bought their tunes directly from them for comparison purposes. The only tuner that's had a problem with it has been MR Tuning. And in his threat, he told me not to use his name, but people have been asking what his name is, and I'm telling them anyway, so I'm going to use their name. They don't like me. They don't like my comparisons, and they did pretty decent on the fuel economy comparison. I haven't posted that video yet, but I already know I don't like it for towing. And the reason I don't like it for towing is you have to floor it to get anywhere. I hooked up to a 7,000 pound trailer last week with their tune in, and anytime I was on the highway going between 60 and 65, in order to speed up I had to floor it, and then it blew smoke out, and I did not There's no mid-range or low-end or low RPM range power with their tune above stock that I noticed when I was towing. And for towing, you don't want to have to floor it every time you move the trailer around. And so I know, well, more details will come out when I do the towing test, the tunes, but my first impressions of towing with MR tuning is not great. I don't like having to floor it. And it, you know, a heavier trailer, 7,000 pounds for a half ton, but still, it didn't perform like the other tunes. GDE, sorry, I got dropped there. Looks like I lost connection. But anyway, thanks for watching. Sorry, this is a little bit longer video. Hopefully I have a little bit better internet connection. It's showing 32.4 miles per gallon, but I've been going slow. I haven't wanted to pass this truck while I'm doing the live video. So I've been going slow. The needle still hasn't moved on my gauge. After 83 miles of driving, I'm showing 32.5 mpg now on the lightometer. I know it's off. It's positive. I'm probably going to be about 29.5 miles per gallon if I keep this up, but I'm going to speed up, which means I won't keep it up. There we go. This guy's finally around. Anyway, 32.5 miles per gallon after 83 miles of driving, and the fuel gauge has not even moved yet. It's now showing my estimated remaining range is 600 miles, which would be close to 700 miles for a lifted truck with 34-inch tires. That's pretty damn good. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hopefully this is a better quality video than the last one. Sorry you're not seeing my face in this one, but yeah, that's okay. My face isn't good to look at anyway. If you have any questions, post them below.